Okay, so the two knives are ready. This is the more traditional looking one. This is the Sheath. Fairly good retention. It's not too tight. Definitely a one-handed removal. Very simple dangler for the belt. Up close, see it. And this is the a little bit more complicated bark river one. Again, it has that little Kydex retention right there, so it's actually quite good. You can hear the little click. Definitely not going anywhere. It shakes in there. No, it really doesn't. Maybe a little bit. Also, same thing here. Simple dangler. That's just what I like. You can do it other ways. You can put a clip here. I think I've shown that, and you can put a belt here and put it on, on the belt. Again, also one hand operation here, and that's it. So Isa, very simple. I think you could definitely also do this with regular stitching as well, and regular belt loop. You don't have to do this kind of fancy, the rivet thing. I just thought the rivets were simpler and faster, so that's why I did it like this. Thanks for watching. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I had a request to show how these sheaths are made, and I will try to do that. I will not show all the details because I can't do them all at this desk, so I'll show the steps, but they're pretty self-explanatory. This is the type of sheath we're going to be making. These are the knives. This one is a small one I made. Very simple. And this is the Bark River Scout. This is the sheath that came with it. It's not terrible for shipping purposes, but I mean, really, it's not amazing. We'll go through the steps. Yes. Yes. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to show how I do this. It's very simple. Some tape. I'm going to cut the tape off. Tape, and then this is this neoprene foam. You can get it on Amazon. There's probably another way to do this, but I have this stuff and it works. So that's what I do. Oh my gosh. Alright, so this is done. So the point here is that I don't want the Kydex to be very tightly formed around the blade. So I apply this soft stuff that will make the Kydex mold very not precise. You can probably do it another way. You can probably do it with wood or something else, but this is just the easiest, fastest way. The other thing that I do is when I apply the Kydex, I don't actually use the Kydex press. I just do it with my hands and kind of mold it around so it's not very tightly formed. So I'm going to go and make the Kydex molds and show you what I got. I'm not going to make a video of it. It's just heated up Kydex on a warm plate and mold it around with gloved hands. That's it. I will be back to show what I got. Alright, so this is the Kydex. You can see very kind of soft, not very precise mold. That's on purpose. Doesn't come all the way together, which is fine. This one does. But we're going to cut it off. So now I will mark it up and grind away this part. So I'm kind of following the blade shape. Okay. Take this off. There. So it's kind of loose, which is what I prefer. You can see the mark in there. We're going to go and grind this off next. Same thing here. Let's take this. Well, first let's mark this one. Careful not to cut myself here. These knives are sharp. Okay, and again, same thing here. Again, kind of loose. You don't want this for a real Kydex sheath. You would not want this. Alright, so next job will be to go to a bandsaw, cut this off, and then grind out the edge neatly. I will go and do that, come back and show you where we are. I will, when I'm grinding it, I will actually use the knife to kind of put it in and see, to make sure the line kind of matches the knife. Not too far, not too little. But don't grind with the knife in. So I just wanted to show the next step. This is just cut out with a bandsaw, roughly. And I wrapped the knife up in some plastic wrap so I could, as I grind it, I could put it in and not get it all scratched up. So next I'm going to go and grind it. Alright, so this is where we are now. So you could see, ground down the edges. See, there is like a little opening here, which is fine. I will clean up the little loose ends here. By the way, I also don't think this is real Kydex. I think this is some kind of styrene or something. Some substitute. I got it on Amazon. Super cheap. And it works fine for this purpose. I think for a real Kydex sheath, I would not use this. Alright, let's clean this up. This is just to chamfer the edges. That's it. Alright, now, next, what I want to do is make this opening just a little bit wider. I'll show how I can do that here, I think. Just to make it easier for the knife to go in. And this one also, just a little bit wider. So the knife has easier time going in. Now, another thing is, like, you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it, but I can feel it. It like flares out right here a little bit, so I can also squeeze that down a little bit, heat it up and squeeze it down. This one is also kind of going sideways, so I'll fix the edges too. I'll show you how I do that. All right. So what we need here is a wet rag and a construction fan. And that's it. So first we're going to do these edges. So, oh, and another thing we need is gloves. So I have these wool gloves so I don't burn. Oh, let's do it this way. I don't burn my fingers as much. Okay. So fan. You can see it start to kind of change shape, and I just squeeze it together and make it the way I want to do it. See, right there. And if you want to go like this, just close it down. That's it. So now the tip is really nice and skinny and nice. I think this one needs the same thing. These both are stainless steel knives. If you have carbon steel knife, I guess you could wrap it. I mean, you could oil it up a little bit to make it better. The way you know you're ready to squeeze it is it starts to actually widen up. Like you can see the Kydex move. Right there, see how it got wider? And then boom, make it smaller. There we go. Okay. Excellent. That's it, same thing here. You can see that tip here kind of rose up, but that's okay. Okay, now see, it kind of catches here a little bit, so we're gonna make this part bigger. You wrap it really carefully, like this. Okay. And do the same thing. Nope. make it as symmetrical as possible. So I see, now you could see that there's like a little lip around it. Excellent. Very nice. Okay, and now this one, the same way. We're not really looking for good retention with this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Good, excellent. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Okay. That's it. So the Kydex parts are ready. You could see it still kind of clicks in, but there's a lot of room around it. Okay, so you can get rid of the fan. All right, get rid of the rag for next time. I think we're pretty much ready for the leather part. Clean this up a little bit. I mean, if you want to be very careful, you can definitely clean this up much better. I just, I'm trying to make these as fast as possible, just because I don't think it makes a difference in the functionality. How nice this stuff is. Think about the sheath design. This one I think I'll make just simple. I think both of them will be simple. Both of them will be the same. Both of them will be similar to the one I showed in the previous video. I think with holes on the side for a belt loop. This will have a nice retention, I hope, because it really clicks in there. And this one will be retained due to the widening handle, so as you stick it in there, it will be kind of getting wedged. So that's it. Next, on to the leather. All right, so this is the piece of leather we'll use. We're going to do it a little bit different way. I'm going to take this thing. Here to here. Good. Now we're going to cut this down. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. Now, next step will be clean up our desk. Some things to clip this together and get it wet. So I'll be back. One thing we gotta do is bevel these edges before we glue it together. It's gonna be impossible afterwards. So the inside edge should start about, let's see here, I need a pencil. So somewhere here and here. Let's see. One mark is here, but where's the other mark? Okay, next step we're going to get it wet. Be right back. Alright, now the leather is wet. Let it sit for a little bit. Get a paper towel. So, putting the knife up to the point of our little mark right there, the tape. And we'll clip it here. And clip it here. And clip it here. And now we start to wet mold the leather to the knife. and the insert. For this, make sure your nails are well clipped or you're being really careful. You're going to need about 1/2 inch border on the side. So that's kind of how it begins to look. Now, what we're going to do continue to wet mold it. So I'm not going to use any tools here. That's what happens when you get your nails there. What you can do is try to take the knife out and put the knife back in and make sure that it kind of sits correctly. This can mold a little hole here. You can do this afterwards also. So I think this is actually acceptable to leave overnight to dry. Clip it, let's see here. think this is good enough to leave overnight. Okay. This like this. Okay. So you can see the opening here is a little bit bigger, not very tight. Alright, I think this is good also. And this will be left to dry overnight. Well, about 8 hours have passed, and these things are drier. All right. Excellent. Let's do this one first. This one can keep drying a little bit more. Put it to the side. Alright, just to go through the steps here, the general process is to glue the insert in and glue the sides together first, then finish the edges, and then put the rivets and eyelets in. So let's do this. It's always a little bit hectic part of the process, so make sure you know where to position the insert, and you can see the little marks in there, so it's easy to kind of know where it is. It will go in like this. I just used the barge cement. Make sure there's no dust in there anymore or grinding things. I washed them out last night actually with soap and water. Okay, good. Barge cement is not my favorite smell-wise. So what I do is just apply it with my finger. So you can get an idea of how high up it goes. It's somewhere to here. So I'm going to apply the cement here, here, here. You can also use white glue, which maybe we should do that actually. I don't know if it makes a huge difference in this case, but let's just use a barge since it's here. I don't know if I have enough for both sheaths, but so basically just put some on your finger and start to apply it. Unfortunately, these sheaths use up a lot of cement. as you know, this is contact cement, so you apply it, let it dry, and then touch the sides together. So there's not a huge rush. I think another one will use the white glue for variety. If you don't use your finger, if you don't use a glove, your finger will have this nasty stuff on it. The layer does not need to be thick. Alright, good enough. Now we'll let this dry for a few minutes. Just make sure not to touch these sides. I'll be back when it's dry. Alright, so it's dry. The way I do this is I put the knife in. This thing right here so I can see the marks where it was, and put it right as central as you can. Okay, and now just glue it down. That's it. Take a little bit of this. This leather is very abrasion sensitive, but since we're going to paint it, it does not really matter. Okay, so now we take the knife out, put the knife back in, and it seems to be okay. Alright. Okay, good. Excellent. Now we let this set, and we go on to the next one. This one, it's going to need a paper towel here. On this one, the question is, for variety, do we want to use white glue, something like this? Let's see. I think we should, because it's still a little bit damp, and you probably get a little bit better success with this kind of this kind of glue. So we're gonna do the, let's see, actually let's do this part first. So we're gonna do the same thing but apply it only to the sides. What is happening here? It's not gonna be worn. Okay, let that dry again. Okay, I think this is dry. So now we can do the white glue and glue it together. Again, the trick here is that it does not seep through the leather, because if it does, it's not going to dye right. It's going to be a pain in the butt. So we have to apply a relatively thin layer. I don't know which one works better. I've tried both ways, and like functionally in the beginning it makes no difference which one lasts longer. I really can't tell you. So you can decide. I think if the leather is dry, the contact cement is fine. I'm a little bit worried that this leather is damp. It's still pretty early in the morning after I did it last night. Okay, I think that's good enough. So you can see it's like fairly thin application of the cement. Almost messed it up. Let's see here. Fingers are clean. I'm gonna take this out. Oop. Okay. And we're gonna let this dry also. have 2 sheaths that are glued together. Alright, next thing we're going to do is let them dry for a little bit, and then come back and mark the line to cut it on here. Then grind off this edge, maybe trim the top a little bit too while we can, and then do the staples, or not the staples, the rivets. The way I think this one, since this knife is a little bit more traditional, we'll do just with three eyelets here and clips or rivets down the bottom. As far as this one, I think for the bark river we'll do also rivets and eyelets, but I want to be able to install this little carrying clip thing, just a cheap one off Amazon. Install this one, be able to install this one here to carry the knife on the belt if needed, if wanted. That's pretty much it for this part. I'll be back when it's dry and when I'm ready to trim it down. Alright, so it feels dry enough. Now the most important step here is, every step is most important, is to come up with how we're going to shape this side of the sheath. So in my experience, it looks best when the sheath is a little bit cone shaped, meaning it gets smaller at the bottom. So I would not go, directly parallel to this line. I think it looks better when it's a little bit like this. So we need to leave about ½ inch space for the rivets and the eyelets. So I think it's better to use a ruler here. I would mark something like this, and just make a light mark. And here we're just going to draw. Okay, there we go. You noticed I did it on the side, so if you hang the sheath like this, it's going to be kind of on the back side. So the rivets I'm going to use are these 6mm cap rivets from Buckle Guy. They are probably the best quality rivets you can find, and they're easy to get. They sell all sizes, pretty small. So going to go to the grinding room and grind these guys down. First we're going to cut this off. Let's see, maybe we should cut it off like this actually. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit off here as well. Okay, excellent. I'll be back after I grind this down. Alright, so this was ground down. I'm going to cut this little floppy stuff off the edges. This is going to have to be re-ground after the rivets are in with a finer belt. So this is not the final job here. Kind of a rough draft. See, I put a little paper towel there to keep it from getting bubbled up. So now you look at it and see in the light if it looks good. What don't I like about it? I think it's, you know what I don't like about it? I don't like about it that I feel like there's more than half an inch here. So I'm going to go back down and take a little bit more off this side. Just a little bit. Here's my pencil, it's right here. Just take a little bit more off that edge. Be right back. Actually, should I just grind this one while I'm down there too? Let's do this one too. This one will do the same thing. I use a 60 grit belt on just a simple belt grinder. Alright, I'll be right back after grinding these two again. Okay, this was fixed. not sharp, but that's fine. Let's see this. All right. Next step is to do the rivets and the eyelets. And we'll be almost done. So there are different ways to do this without marking up the leather with the sharp edge, but honestly, for this kind of a sheath, I don't really care enough to. You can put tape here and take the tape off, but it's probably for this not worth it to mess around with it. So let me just look at the sheath. It was about, let's see here. I'm just seeing how far away from the edge it should be. Okay. So this is for the eyelets up here. Now the distance between, where's my ruler? Let's do one right here. And then the other three we'll do it .75. Should we put one more right here? Or is 3 enough? Let's do one more. Okay. So these will be the 3 rivets. And the 3 eyelets, and the rivets can be done at maybe 1 inch interval. Let's see here. Actually, this flexible ruler. This way you can kind of estimate, because you want it to end in a nice place here. So yeah, so 1 inch is not gonna work. It has to be, let's do it in centimeters. It's easier to do the math. So if we start from here and go along this line. So the last rivet we want to be somewhere right here, let's say, right? So this distance from here to here is approximately 14. So I think 2 centimeters apart, this will be perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so marked it up. So these holes are 3/4 apart, and these ones are 2 centimeters apart. And something like this, if you want to attach it afterwards, this would definitely fit here just fine. You could put 2 screws, attach it like this, if that's something you want to do. Alright, let's find the right hole punch. Alright, so the rivets will require a 2.5 millimeter punch, and the eyelets will be 5 millimeter punch. So we punch these out. It's too big. Right. Better if my camera is more positioned like this. Maybe better. Right. So we put the back cap in the back, and the front in the front. Okay, so now they're ready. Oh no, forgot the one. All right, so now they're ready for setting. You can see that it's a little bit off, but I don't think it really makes a difference for this. All right, now the big holes. this does not fit. In. Second one in. Third one in. And the last one. Alright. Now we get our little press and press the rivets, or the eyelets and the rivets. Okay. It's very nice. Next are these rivets. So unfortunately I don't have the right the press part for this, so we'll have to improvise. But that's okay. Let's see, that probably should do it from this side. Yeah, from this side. Let's see here, let's put this underneath like this. What should I do? What should I put underneath of this? Oh, we're working well for the camera. Perfect. Should order the correct part for the press. Make it a lot easier. right, I think that's pretty much the meaty part here. Let's see. Now we're going to take the knife, take off the plastic, and see if it fits. What we want is, there's stuff in here from grinding. What we want is for it to go in and stick. Oh, and that's perfect. It does, yeah. That's acceptable. Alright, so this one we can call a success. I need to go grind this edge now with 120 grit. And we can think about the color for this. Maybe leave it this color actually. That's an acceptable color, I think. And do the other one. Okay. Let's do this one next. So here we're going to move the same distance from the side. First rivet. So here I want to have an option to attach this guy. So let's see. If I do this at so I can do the same. I can do 3 rivets at 3/4 each. I think that would be okay. 1, 2. And do we want a 3rd rivet? I think we're okay with just 3 rivets here. Okay, and then the last hole should be right here. So this distance is like 1. So approximately 13. So 13 divided by 2, so it's about 2. So a little bit, we do like 2, a little bit more than 2 centimeters. That should be okay. So we'll do like 2 and a little bit. 2 and a little bit here. 2 and a little bit here. 2 and a little bit here. perfect. Make the holes really quickly. So, okay. Okay. And these big holes. Here. All right. Done with the rivets for today. I forgot if I mentioned this. These are number 8 rivets. 8 rivets from USA Knife Maker. Always been getting them there, and I guess that's what I would recommend. These are very close to the edge. All right. Good. This and this is what we need. Just do it on the table. That's the best way. This. Now, moment of truth for this one. That's perfect. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. If I say so myself. And you could attach this guy here, like this, if you want to carry it on your belt, or right-handed or left-handed. Oh, this is nice. Okay, next step will be to go and grind them on 120 degree grit belt and start finishing up. All right, the edges were trimmed on the belt sander. Not okay. All right, let's see here. I need some sandpaper to get the edges. All right. Messy, messy, messy. Get some sandpaper. This is 240 grit. Okay. This is not really a sheath that's designed to have a drain hole, but we'll make one there, and we'll make one here just for a little bit of ventilation. Okay, now the finish. I think this one I would like to be black. To kind of match the bark rubber knife better. It would be ideal if it's black, in my opinion. And this one maybe can stay this color. This one actually fits in there just better. Put these little guys in. Whew. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Well, I will do some painting and finishing and come back. I don't think anybody wants to see this to prevent the video from getting too long.